Hello everybody, this is Coach Charmaine. Welcome to my channel, and this is about me and my Sisterlocks journey. And sometimes I talk about other things, but today, June 6, 2025, I just got a retie and my hair looks great. My hair is a little bit on the thin side. You wouldn't know it though, because the hair is growing down the shaft and it looks good. But I did have a little damage because I waited 6 weeks. I think I told you that last time. And I thought 6 weeks was okay. But for me, I don't think 6 weeks is going to work. I think I better go back to 5 weeks. And also, too, there was one lock that had slipped. And of course, she managed to save it and everything like that. And then I wanted to tell you about the Sisterlocks reconstructor that I used on my locks last night after I washed them. And I really felt like they had gained like a new life. It's not something you use all the time. They said, just as needed, once a month or once every other wash, something like that, as needed. But I'm going to tell you something. I really felt like after I had washed it with the Sisterlocks shampoo, I didn't use a Sisterlocks conditioner because I didn't have one. But I did find a conditioner from Whole Foods, didn't have any junk in it. I used that. And then after the Whole Foods conditioner, which I probably didn't need it, now that I'm thinking about it, I could have just used the Reconstructor, Sisterlocks Reconstructor. But I'm going to tell y'all something. It was all that and a piece of all that in a bag of chips is what I'm trying to say. Because after I had washed it, of course, it had that hard feeling that it gets. But I slathered the Sisterlock Reconstructor on. I wasn't gentle with it. I gulped it and really put it on there like I saw it demonstrated. And let me tell you something. It was a very big difference. And what that Sisterlock Reconstructor does, one of the things it does, is it locks in the moisture. So right after my hair was washed, when it was almost dry, it wasn't completely dry, but after it was almost dry, I used the Sisterlock Reconstructor. And there's a distributor here in Philadelphia, and they're really all over the country. You just have to find one closest to you. Or you can just order it from the website. But in either case, I really like the way my hair felt. Now, like a lot of other people who have Sisterlocks, especially the ones I follow on various social media channels, nobody ever really tells you about ever having a problem, right? And I have had several. Some of my locks have thinned, and they're super thin. Some of them have thinned, and a couple have broken. But I think overall, over these past 3 years and 8 months, I'm happy. I mean, they haven't, I just don't think this is anything for me to get upset about. I think it's like normal wear and tear on the hair. But when I left the Sisterlock, my loctician today, there was another lady in the chair who was kind of where I was when I first started. And so I just wanted to encourage her that, it'll be okay. Just stick with the process. You'll get there. And I'm going to tell you something else I did. A lot of locticians now are charging you, say, $125 for the first 2 hours or $150 for the first 2 hours. I suggested, and I'm going to suggest to you guys who are locticians, nobody wants to wait until after their appointment is over to find out how much their hair costs. All of us are not going to be able to deal with that shock, okay? You might want to go back to setting a set price for whatever amount of time that somebody's in your hair, in your chair, which means that if they're in there an hour or two versus 5 hours, it's the same price, and the money balances out. But to make a person, or ask a person, because you're not making a person, but to ask a person to sit in your chair and everybody's watching the clock to see if it's going to be 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever, and be sitting there waiting to try to figure out what you're going to pay. I just think it's torture. And this whole Sisterlock thing is supposed to be something I'm doing for me, something to help me de-stress, be a better me, look good, have a great hairstyle all the time, which is what I have, a great hairstyle all the time. And so then to ask me to come to your chair, and and I don't know what it's going to cost. And even if I anticipate $300 or $200 or whatever amount of dollars, I don't know what it's going to cost. So the whole time I'm sitting in your chair, I'm watching the clock wondering how much this is going to cost. And so I want to suggest to you guys that you go back to setting a set price for a retie. A retie is a retie is a retie. You know, if you are retying 500 locks, if you're retying 400 locks, if you're retying 200 locks, a retie is a retie is a retie. Set a set price. If that's going to be 200, if it's going to be 250, if it's going to be 300, set a set price so that when people call you up, you know, you're not giving them these answers that don't make sense. Oh, it'll be $150 for the first 2 hours. And what does that mean? How long is this going to take? I don't know. How long does it usually take? Well, sometimes it takes 3 hours. Sometimes it takes 4 hours. Sometimes it takes 2 hours. Well, after the second hour, it's $50 an hour. It is just too much drama, too much stress. So do yourselves a favor and set a set price. Whatever it is you want to set. If it's $250 for you, if it's $300 for you, whatever it is, just set it. So that when people call you up and sit in your chair, it's not like a bait and switch. Like, I got you here now. I know you need a retie because you're at the 5th or your 6th week. And guess what? We don't know what it's going to cost until we get done. Who wants that? Nobody wants to live like that. But anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. But listen, y'all, I'm loving my hair. You know, again, it's not perfect. I have sides that are thinning. And I know he said it's not as bad as some. And it isn't. My hairline really is down here. So I think I'm missing about 3/4 of an inch of hair. But it's been like that for a while, even before I had Sisterlocks. Also, you know, it has a nice little length to it. I would like to get it trimmed. Because I like to get all my hair the same length, you know, eventually. I'm not doing it right now, but eventually that's what I would like to see done. I always trim my bangs myself because I like a shorter front. But the problem with that is one of my locks continues to unravel. So at the tip. So anyway, I mean, it's not a huge deal. I can figure out how to fix that one. But I'm just here to tell you I've had another great retie. I do want to, you know, I don't want to retie my hair because it just doesn't seem like I can do it. But at the same time, I don't really want to keep going to a loctician. Now, the beautiful thing is I've thought about taking a class, and my loctician said she would train me. And she's pretty good. She's pretty good. And listen, y'all, women's hair fall out for a whole number of reasons. They fall out. And a lot of times it doesn't have anything to do with the loctician. It's chemistry, it's whatever. But with that being said, you know, we have to just be careful. I mean, I would hate to lose my locks at this stage of my life, but I think if I did, I would just give me a lock wig. That's all. Yeah, I would probably wear a lock wig. Or a lock bandana wig. Something, I don't know. But anyway, look, I just wanted to check in and tell you that this is a retie for me. A retie day. And I'm very happy. And I gotta be honest with you, we were doing a lot of talking, so it took 6 hours. But we were talking, we were pausing. If we hadn't talked and we hadn't paused, if we hadn't mucked it up, I don't think that's the right word. But anyway, I think you know what I mean. If we hadn't done those things, it probably would have taken 4 hours. So if my loctician charged $150 for the first 2 hours, and then $50 for each additional hour, then my hair conceivably could have cost $250. But I'm just saying, why not just tell me $250? Why not just tell me when I come to you, it's gonna cost you $250? That's what reties cost here, $250. You know, marketing is everything. It's just absolutely everything. And so I just want to say that, and I'm leaving now. Bye. And listen, y'all have an amazing day. Like, share, all that good stuff, you know. And if you want to talk about something else, which I do, I think I'm going to make another video. All right, bye.